Packard's headlights sliced through the relentless rain, illuminating the slick, winding road that led to Whitmore House. Elias gripped the armrest, his knuckles white. The subtle thrumming in his head had intensified, resonating with a sickening familiarity. He risked a glance at his hands. A disturbing greenish tinge marred the skin, and the joints seemed to shift beneath the surface. "Are we almost there?" he asked, his voice strained. Silas, the groundskeeper, didn't respond. His eyes remained fixed on the road ahead, his expression unreadable in the dim light. He was a study in subservience, his movements precise and economical, as if every action was dictated by an unseen hand. "Soon," the caretaker said, his voice smooth and reassuring. He sat in the back, impeccably dressed in a dark suit, his face partially obscured by the shadows of his fedora. A thin, unsettling smile played on his lips. "Doctor, Whitmore's study awaits. It holds the key to understanding your potential." Elias felt a wave of nausea. The word potential felt like a mockery, a cruel jest considering the horrifying changes racking his body. He's been brought here under the promise of a cure, but now trapped in this opulent cage with these unsettling men, he wasn't so sure. The house loomed out of the rain and darkness, a mausoleum of forgotten elegance. Gargoyles leered from the roof, their stone faces eroded by time and weather. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay. Inside, the grandeur was muted by neglect. The smokes danced in the weak light filtering through the tall windows. Cobwebs clung to the ornate chandeliers. The caretaker led them to a vast study, lined with towering bookshelves. Astronomical charts covered the walls, alongside faded portraits of stern-looking men in archaic clothing. A massive mahogany desk dominated the room, cluttered with journals, scientific instruments, and strange diagrams. A telescope, the size of a small tree, stood sentinel by the window. This was Dr. Whitmore's domain, the caretaker said, his voice echoing in the silence. Here, he delved into the profound mysteries of resonance, of frequencies that shape our reality. Elias's eyes fell on a dark wood music box, inlaid with intricate carvings. It sat on a small table near the desk, emitting a discordant melody that seemed to vibrate in his very bones. The music box, the caretaker said, as if reading his thoughts, an instrument of exquisite precision. It allows us to manipulate the frequencies, to align them, to unlock the symphony of existence. The melody grew louder, filling the room with an oppressive weight. Elias felt a sharp pain in his head, a sickening lurch in his stomach. The greenish tinge on his hands intensified. "Stop it," he cried, clutching his head. I can't stand it." The caretaker simply smiled. "Patience, Elias. You are merely experiencing the initial adjustments." Suddenly, a scream pierced the silence. It was a woman's voice, terrified and desperate. Elias looked up, startled. "They've got them all," the voice shrieked. "Run! He's taking them all!" The scream faded quickly, swallowed by the storm. Elias felt a cold dread creep into his heart. What was that?" he asked, his voice trembling. "A figment of your imagination, Elias," the caretaker said smoothly. "The stress is taking its toll." Silas, standing silently by the door, didn't react to the scream, his face a blank mass. Elias tried to focus, to shake off the feeling of impending doom. But the music from the music box grew louder, the frequencies resonating within him, twisting his mind, distorting his senses. He felt himself losing control, his sense of self dissolving into the symphony. He looked at his hands again. The greenish tinge was now a vibrant emerald, and the joints were bending at unnatural angles. He felt a strange detachment from his body, as if he were observing himself from afar. I don't feel like myself anymore," he whispered, his voice barely audible. The caretaker's smile widened. "You are becoming one with the harmony, Elias. Embrace it." Elias braced himself, a silent scream trapped in his throat. The music swelled, the frequencies converging, enveloping everything in a shimmering wave of emerald light. He felt himself falling, spiraling into an abyss of sound and color, his consciousness fading, his identity dissolving into the symphony. The last thing he registered was the unsettling smile on the caretaker's face, a promise of oblivion, a terrifying glimpse into the abyss.